Good morning, everybody, from another windy day here in Central Portugal. The weather appears to be perfect. It's sunny, it's a little cold, but it looks like it's going to be another great day. I'm up early, I haven't even had my coffee today, and I'm just going to get into work. I'm super sleepy, and to add to that, I've somehow got soap in my right eye, which is a little painful. The reason I'm just diving straight into the work is because I have another video coming out tomorrow, and I want to try something a little different. I'm going to try to squeeze in a little bit of extra work because I really want to get those chilies overwintered and I really want to get the lid on the greenhouse. It's about to get really cold, and checking those two jobs off my list will just give me peace of mind, and it means I can move on to something else. So this video is a bit weird in the order. I'm going to just get straight into the overwintering and the greenhouse work, and then we're going to travel back in time to when I picked the chilies. We're going to do a fermented hot sauce, and then we're going to go back into the future, but back in time from now. And then we're gonna do some olive sucker pruning again, and I'm gonna do that ridiculous job that actually took up loads of my time in November. I was wondering where the time went in November, and a good chunk of time went on this task. So we'll do that, and then I think that's it. So I've put on my cozier jacket because it is pretty chilly out there and I'm wimpy. Though I am Canadian, I did spend almost 10 years living in East Africa, and that's turned me into a winter weather wimp. Before I get started with work on the chilies, I thought I'd give an update on the mushrooms from yesterday's video. My friend Kimberly is certain that these are Boletus edulis, which are also known as penny bun, I think, in the UK, and sep. So now that they're dried, the plan is to grind them up into a fine powder, which I think you can then sprinkle into recipes or even just sprinkle over your food for some added umami. You could also use them in just dried form in risottos and anything really. Yeah, I'm excited to give them a try, and I really loved searching for them, and I think this mushroom hunting thing could become a new passion of mine. Not only is Kimberly a mushroom enthusiast, she also is a yoga teacher. She and her partner have a place called Keela Yoga Farm near to me, where they run all kinds of courses, teach yoga classes, do all kinds of interesting things. If you're into natural building, permaculture, food forests, it's a great place to take a course because you can see all of these things in action. Yeah, definitely worth a look. Check out their YouTube channel for more information. I'd always recommend to people that before you make the leap into kind of living a rural, off-grid, homesteading kind of lifestyle, try it out first. I tried it out at Keela when I first arrived in this region, and I learned a lot of great skills there and made a lot of friends by first connecting with the community there. So if you're interested in any of this stuff that I do on my place, natural building, permaculture, food forests, all that kind of stuff, if you like yoga and live in the region and want to take a class, be sure to check them out. But enough of that, it's time to get down into the garden and to take care of my chilies and prepare them for winter. So I've got the warmer jacket on, and I've got the tools of the trade, so I've got gloves and scissors. That's basically all I'll need. The toughest part of this job today will be moving the rocks onto the cloth. Everything else is just very lightweight work. Oh, I need one more thing though. So I have everything I need. Let's go to the garden and make some chili plants feel as cozy as I feel right now. I kind of don't want to take this off, but the chilies need it more than I do. They look quite bare in their little garden bed, but pretty soon they're gonna look like little mini ghosts. Good morning. How was your evening? Are you ready for breakfast and cuddles? Okay, let's go have breakfast. What are you doing? Hey, I don't think that chili plant likes that, Mikey. Here, in your scratch instead. Isn't that better? You leave that chili plant alone. Is that why all my chili plants have been knocked over? No. No, let's go have breakfast. Hey. 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 Come on, let's move on. Move along. Come on, breakfast time. Come on, let's go. Hungry? So somebody is demanding his breakfast, and I figure I might take a little breakfast break as well. What do you think? Okay, Mikey and I are both fed and happy, and the weather is glorious. I've taken off the jacket, and it's time to get back to work on the chilies. So the wind isn't making this easy, and my cut is kind of all over the place. I don't know if this is the best strategy. I think I might utilize some rocks. So one down, many to go. I've got probably about a dozen chili plants to turn into little cozy ghosts. So I'm just gonna crack on with the work, and I'll check in at the end. I feel like my basil plants are doing quite well, and I'm wondering if I can wrap them up in this stuff just like the chilies and have them survive the winter until next spring. Cut them back, make them cozy. Does anybody know if it's possible to keep basil plants as perennials? If you do, let me know in the comments. This job has taken way longer than expected. As with everything though, that's just usually the case. I've decided I'm not doing the greenhouse. I don't have to do it today. Nobody can make me. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I have a lot of stuff to prepare for my firewood delivery, which is coming in a couple of hours. And like I said, the chili thing took a lot longer than expected. So, greenhouse can wait. It's not that big of a deal. I've got a few more days until it gets quite cold at night. So, I'm on a timeline, but I can still procrastinate for a bit longer. So, let me show you my chilies. They're very spooky. Come with me. So I somehow managed to forget one. So I'll wrap this guy up, and then that's this job done. I've also got a few capsicum plants that are doing really well. Come on. Got that guy. This guy over here. So I'm wondering if I cut these back and cover them in the ghostly fabric, maybe I can overwinter these as well. I feel like they're part of the pepper family, so it should, in theory, work the same. Does anybody know? I have more of the fabric, so I might as well use it. And so I'm really happy with how that job's gone. I have a garden full of ghostly chili peppers, and I'm ready to move on to the next part of the video where I make some fermented hot sauce. If you've already seen this before in a previous video, skip on ahead. But chili peppers are a big part of my garden, and I do spend a lot of time growing the plants and processing them. So different kinds of chili sauces are bound to pop up from time to time, as with pickled peppers and things like that. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Onward to fermented hot sauce. Good morning, there's a chill in the air, and November is marching on, and there's still a bunch of things I need to do. First up will be picking my chilies in this bowl and then sticking them in this enormous jar, because who doesn't love an enormous jar of chilies? I'm gonna do another fermented hot sauce. This time it's not gonna be quite as spicy. I've got pineapple, and I'm gonna go back to the fruity version that I can actually eat without blowing my own head off. So I'm gonna go down to the garden now, fill this bad boy up. Okay, let's pick some chilies. I'm quite interested to see how many are on the plants. I haven't had a close look, but I have seen quite a few from afar. I basically neglected my garden for probably 2 to 3 months. So while it's not weedy anymore because of my mom, it is getting weedy again. So I'm gonna give this some attention next week. But for now, I'm gonna pick the chilies off the plants and make a sauce. So yeah, I see lots of chilies. Let's get them off the plants and turn them into something spicy. Hello. What are you drinking this dirty water for? You have nice clean water up in the house. Don't drink that. Are you gonna help me pick some chilies? Yeah? Okay. Thank you. Now this, my friends, is a whole lot of chilies. And I still think I have a few more plants to pick, so it's a lot. But this is a whole lot of jar, 3 liters of jar in fact, so I think it maybe will fit. I'm maybe sure. I'm possibly certain that this will fit in here. Once the chilies are chopped, they squash down pretty far, so if this doesn't hold them all, I'll be very surprised. And if it does, that's gonna be a lot of hot sauce. So I've got a lovely little selection of different types of chilies. I think the only one I really know for sure is a jalapeno, but there's a few different things in here. Yeah, so how spicy this will be is anyone's guess, but I'm gonna try to calm it all down by putting some pineapple in. And basically what I'm doing now is gonna chop the bigger ones smaller and stick them in that jar. This is the first rinse, so I'm just using the water from the tank, and then I'll put everything through the nice spring water that I get from the town. So I'm chopping a lot of chilies. I'm not convinced that this is the right knife for the job though. My mom likes it, but I think I'm gonna switch back to the Big Daddy knife and hopefully speed things along. That's a lot of chilies. This is my 3rd round. I've already had multiple hot sauces and loads of jars of jalapenos. So my garden has been good to me this year, especially with the chilies. So I'll make the brine. It's a 2% brine, so that means for every 1 liter of water, I think it's 20 grams of salt. So I'll get that going, stick this in the back of the cupboard, and revisit it in a couple of weeks. Okay, the brine is in, and I'm holding everything down with a bag of brine. You could also just fill it with water, but what it does is it makes sure that everything stays beneath the surface of the brine, if it sneaks above, it could potentially ruin the whole batch. So I found this is the best way to do things. I don't have anything else really to hold it down. Some people use rocks. You can buy these glass weights that are surprisingly expensive, but I find this works really amazingly. And that's what I've been doing, and with success. I haven't had anything spoil, so that's pretty good. So I'm ready to seal it up, and because I'm using this jar without the rubber gasket around it, it means that air can escape. It's not an airtight fit, and that's good for fermentation, so I don't need to keep opening it and burping it. I'll check on it from time to time, but this should be good. I'll leave it in a bowl in case anything wants to bubble over, and I'm going to stick it in a dark corner of my house for the next 2 weeks, and then I'll revisit it then. So I'm happy to have this done. I'm really enjoying this fermented hot sauce thing, and let's see how this batch tastes. I'll let you know in a couple weeks. I'm down on my bottom terrace, and I've got these amazing clippers, and I'm basically going to be doing what is possibly a ridiculous job of chopping these olive branches smaller. So chopping off all the leafy bits so I can use them as either mulch or throw them in the compost. It's going to take forever, but I've got my headphones in. I'm just finishing up the 50-hour epic audiobook, The Count of Monte Cristo. So I've got a couple more hours left of that, and I've got these battery-operated clippers, which are a joy to use, and I'm just going to go for it. It seems a shame to burn it all. My place is quite poor on organic matter. I don't have a lot of things that I can use for mulch and stuff like that, and yeah, to send this up in a ball of flames just seems like a big waste. So rather than do that, I'm gonna just listen to my audiobook, go to town with the clippers, and chop these olive branches into small pieces. Anything a bit bigger, like this, is apparently good for kindling. Probably not for this year because the wood will be too green, but I'll chop it up, store it, and it'll be ready for next year. So yeah, I'm just gonna turn on the audiobook and start clipping. So probably the most important reason for just tidying everything up is, as you can see, the grass and other stuff growing in here is getting longer, and eventually I'll have somebody come and cut it, but if these branches are all hiding in amongst the stuff, it'll screw up the strimmer. So I need to have everything clear and everything tidy, and then the strimmer won't get stuck in all of these hidden branches along the way. I really don't come down to this terrace very often, and when I do, it's always filled with surprises, including these beautiful, I don't know, what are they? Maybe mandarins or tangerines, some sort of small citrus-like thing. I'm going to take it up and see what it is. But this is the first year this tree has given me any fruit. I gave it a pretty hard prune last year, and it looks like it's sprung back to life. So thanks, tree. I'm happy to see that you're happy. And let's see what this tastes like. And then I also have over here, in the area my dad cleared when they were visiting, 2 orange trees. This one, people say this tree has the best oranges around, and I'm inclined to agree. They look like they're almost ready. Could probably do with maybe another week or 2. And then I have this tree over here. Good oranges, not as good as the other tree, but they're good. And same thing, maybe another couple of weeks and I'll be oranges rich. And another part of this bottom terrace that I rarely visit is my well. First of all, because it was previously covered in a whole bunch of weeds and grapes and all kinds of foliage. My dad cleared that up. That was awesome. Thanks, Dad. I can see the well. It looks nice and full, but it also looks pretty funky and pretty green. But luckily, I don't actually use this water for anything, at least not so far. So, you know, I can leave it how it is. It's good as an emergency source of water if I need to water my garden. I'm not going to be, you know, having a shower in that or anything. But it's good to know it's there. And if I ever need to use it for anything else, I will address the soupiness of it because it's looking pretty funky. Okay, welcome to about 9 hours of work and several days into the future, where I'm almost finished this job. I've almost chopped up all the olive branches, and I've got one more wheelbarrow load, I think, to go around the trees. So I've powered through the Count of Monte Cristo, and I've moved on to a new book. So it's just nice to put the headphones in and get the clippers going, and I don't know, I just never tire of this noise. Is it just me, or is it super satisfying? I'm really happy I decided to do this job and just push through, because now I have a whole bunch of mulch around my trees, or at least most of my trees. I've cleared the mess. I've got a whole bunch of little olive bits of wood in buckets getting stored for next year when they'll be dry and I can use them as kindling. And I've also, very importantly, pulled the branches out that were getting overgrown by the grass. Probably did this job just in the nick of time. A lot of them were kind of getting completely consumed by the grass. And basically, I don't own a strimmer, which is one of those weed whacker type things. So I generally hire people to come in and do the strimming, and they get sad when branches tangle up the cord and stuff. So I don't want someone to come and be unhappy with my hidden branches, so I've cleared everything away, and maybe in early January or so, when the grass is a little longer, I'll hire someone to come in and do that for me. Generally, it costs about 10 euros an hour, including petrol, and it takes them about 4 hours or so to do my place. So money well spent until I get the tool myself, which, yeah, it's probably on my list as one of the next things I might buy. So I'm gonna just film this last little bit of work, put the last wheelbarrow around the tree, and then this job will be finished. This very ridiculous job will be finished, and I'll be very happy, and I'm gonna move on to something else. Well, hello there. So the sun's going down, and I guess it's about 4 o'clock. It's been a really nice day of work. I've really enjoyed this olive thing. Happy it's over, but I've really enjoyed it. And I feel like I've got a lot of other interesting things done in this video as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna try this tiny mandarin, clementine, tangerine, satsuma. Does anyone know what the difference is between all of these little orange citrusy things? It's the first time this tree has given me any fruit, so I'm really curious about what this is going to taste like. It smells delicious. I'm not really crazy about pulp, so Oranges aren't my favorite thing to eat, but I do like the juice, and same with these little things. That is amazing, and there's no seeds. Okay, there's seeds. And so, yeah, what a great way to end my day, discovering that I have a tree filled with tiny oranges that taste very delicious. So that's pretty cool. It's been a lovely week. I feel like I've got a lot of stuff done. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's so cool. What was that? What was that? What a great way to end the video. A delicious little mini orange thing. And a gigantic bird cruising by. So that feels like a nice place to stop. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share it around. Please do leave a comment. I love hearing from people. And I'll see you in the next video.